You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
So, we're back. Are we? Let's do it. Pitts. Fun. Hold on. Beef?
Yes.
Might be having a stroke.
Oh, you smell onions.
Call the coroner. It's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast.
Call the police.
We ain't got no time for that. We're going to do podcasting. Get ready, get set, go. Tiger Bomb Tom is here. Poot the Bard is here. The true cruiserweight champion, Beef the Legend, is here. Fuck you, Pat. Ransom. What?
Said hashtag cruiserweight champion.
Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight, yes.
Cruiser Brody weight.
Nope. Different.
Beefcake.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Beefcake Champion? Is that the Cartman Championship?
How about
my.
that? We're going to do potting. So get ready to get set, get going. We're going to do a little bit of a mashup here. It's going to be a fucking chicken pot pie,
Potpourri.
clam chowder of a thing.
I like
We're
clam
going to do
chowder.
a little bit of wrestling to fucking see. This is why I shut the fuck up during the podcast, because fucking mooks being mookies. We're going to do a little bit of a mishmash in here. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk some other stuff. It's going to be half regular show, half breaking kayfabe. So it's just going to be a thing. So it's not a full breaking kayfabe. It's not a full wrestle talk show. It's just, this is the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. Just fucking deal with it, okay? Because that's what we are, and that's what we do, and that's what we're going to be about. I don't need any judgments from the likes of you people that listen to this show. I'm looking at you, Ryuk. I don't need any judgments from you, okay? Ryuk's my boy. You don't talk shit about him, fucking Beef. Wow, I just had an argument with myself. Before we get into things that aren't wrestling, I had to take a call during the last episode, so I missed a little bit of stuff. But I don't know. Did we talk about the World Heavyweight Championship that's going on?
Not in any great depth, though.
No.
Okay, so I want to talk with. Maybe I'm going to start talking about the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to see what it eventually fucking devolves into, because I know what we do here, and we fucking, this should be the Pittsburgh Inception podcast, because that's what we do. It's a great movie, by the way. All right, that's enough, Scooby. Haha, boy, I called out two Among Us people on this show. Fuck you both. Just kidding. Love you both. But, fuck you both. YouTube boo star with your shit. Damn. Jeez, I'm inceptioning on myself here.
Come on, man. Bring it back.
I gotta put away the towels.
Yeah.
Gotta put away the towels. I'm not doing my tasks, Beef, so I guess that's what I'm gonna bottom line this with.
Wow.
The World Heavyweight Championship tournament is going on. I don't know who all has won or qualified or whatnot. I'm good with Cody Rhodes being out of it. I don't think Cody Rhodes should have been the one to win the World Heavyweight Championship, just because his whole shtick since he's been back was he wants to win the title that his dad never did, which is the WWE title. So get ready for a copyright strike. To me, I don't think Cody Rhodes should have been winning the World Heavyweight Championship, so I'm good with him being out of it at this point. For the people that are still vying for the title, if you guys have your druthers, who would you like to see be the first winner of the new World Heavyweight Championship?
If we had our druthers, which, by the way,
out of the people that are still involved in the tournament, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not CM Punk or Daniel Bryan.
Well, no big
gonna.
crazy fantasy BS.
But like people that are still involved in vying for the title, of those people, who would you like to see win it?
So who's actually still in it? I know Seth.
Beef. Because I don't know.
Fuck.
Seth Rollins is in the finals.
Okay.
And then tomorrow night on SmackDown, I'm gonna look it up just to make sure. But I know Lashley's in it. AJ Styles, Theory,
Edge,
Thank you.
Sheamus.
Yeah, so there'll be 2 sets of triple threat matches: Edge versus Styles versus Rey Mysterio, and Lashley versus Sheamus versus Austin Theory. The winner of those 2 matches face off tomorrow night, and then they go on to face Rollins at Night of Champions.
So, and I'm going to inception this a little bit, or interrupt myself. Did they address how it's going to work if a SmackDown guy wins this championship? Are they automatically going to be drafted to Raw?
I assume.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
And I mean, like, I don't watch shows with volume on because I'm always doing something else. Unless it's a pay-per-view, and even some, or even premium live events. So even some premium live events, I don't do that.
Just call it a pay-per-view. Come on, Beef.
No, they are premium live events, and I will address them as such because I don't pay for them for my views. I pay for the AEW shows for my views.
You pay for your Peacock.
You make a lot of assumptions about me, buddy. You make a lot of assumptions about me.
So of those people that are still involved, no, it couldn't.
Damn it.
Out of the people that are still involved, if you guys had your choices, who would you like to see be the first world heavyweight champion?
The people still involved, I wouldn't mind either seeing obviously Seth Rollins. I think we could just safely say that I think Seth Rollins would be an awesome choice. I really do. So like for me, like taking that and putting it aside because it's kind of like when people ask me what's my favorite band. Metallica's in its own tier. You know what I mean? So I don't even mention them anymore. They're just above that. So like with this, Seth Rollins is kind of a no. I would honestly like to see AJ Styles. I know you could invest in Theory, but and like, you know, Sheamus, Lashley would be okay. Sheamus, but I really would like to see AJ Styles. Of the ones that could go against Seth Rollins without Seth Rollins winnings, I would like AJ. I would like AJ. Give him a run with another belt. Give him legitimacy back. He's by his lonesome. Like, let it. Well, I mean, you know, I guess the club and all that stuff. But like, you know, just let him do his thing. Let him have that belt one more time because he doesn't have much more tread left on the tires. So why not?
Fair point.
I agree with that. I'm with you on that. I mean, one could make the argument for Edge instead of AJ, but I feel like that. I feel like either would be good. I lean more towards AJ over Edge as my secondary choice. Seth, obviously, you know, of the people that are involved, still Seth is my first choice. And I think is what's going to happen. I'm going to put a caveat on that, though. I would have liked to have seen Finn Balor make it and win it instead of Seth. But that's just my own personal thing. I don't feel like Theory needs it right now. He's got some time. He's got that U.S. title. He could make a lengthy run with that and bring some legitimacy to it. And work his way up. He's got time. I don't want to see Mysterio with it because I'm not the biggest. Oh my, Motor City Machine Guns! Holy shit!
Welcome to Mordor, motherfucker.
Yeah. I've never been the hugest Ray fan, like for a while now. So I don't want to see him win it. Like I figured he would have been gone after WrestleMania with the story wrapping up with Dom and everything, but he's not, and he's just still hanging around, and I'm kind of over him anyways. So yeah, I don't know. I'd say Seth. Yeah, I'd say Seth and then AJ.
Yeah, Rollins, absolutely Rollins. I'd agree with Poot though that I think that I would have rather have seen Balor be the inaugural.
That would be me.
Oh yeah, I apologize. I agree with Tom. I would have liked to have seen Balor be the inaugural to kind of like right the wrong of his Universal title run.
Yep.
Yep.
That said, of the of what we have left, absolutely the marquee matchup is Seth versus AJ Styles at Night of Champions. And I think somehow Lashley finds his way back to Roman for Roman's defense that night, assuming Roman's working Night of Champions. I mean, it is his thousandth day, so I think that they would be dumb not to have him work it. But
Isn't Lashley on SmackDown now after
He
the
is.
draft? Okay,
He
well
is.
then he'll get his shot at Roman. It's fine.
that's what I'm saying. I think it would be good. And I mean, looking at the card, if you're telling me we have Cody versus Brock in a street fight, and
Oh, did
Seth
they announce
versus-
that?
It's been heavily. Yeah, I think Cody accepted it. Brock basically beat the shit out of him and held Cody in his hands and was like, "Look at this face! I want to fight Cody. Night of Champions, I want to fight." I think Cody accepted, but
I want to fight you in a Saskatchewan farm street fight.
if you're telling me we get Brock and Cody in a street fight, Seth and AJ in a banger, and then Roman and Lashley in a banger, like I'm here for it. I think it'll be a great event. But yeah, so like I would love to see AJ win the SmackDown side, and then face Rollins. If I'm saying I don't want Rollins as champion, which I do, but like if I have to pick one of the SmackDown guys, probably Edge. Probably Edge, just because he was synonymous with that World Heavyweight title. Edge is like the second guy I think about with Big Gold, right after Triple H. So like I think it would be iconic if he were the first one to win the new Big Gold.
I have seen a lot of stories and posts and stuff floating around the wrestling interwebs about how people would really like to see Edge win the title that he never technically lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had to give it up because of an injury, and then he came back. He of course gave it up, but he never was beaten for that title. So they want to see Edge have another, decent run with Big Gold. Just to kind of finalize that story of his career. I like AJ. I don't think he's going to win though, because like it seems like the club and AJ, like they're all like, that's kind of a group. And if AJ wins that belt and winds up going to Raw, like, are they going to send just AJ? Are they going to send the whole club? Like, Gallows, Anderson, is Mia Yim going to go too? Like, are they all going to go to fucking Raw?
I think they'd
Michin.
split them up. Yeah, Michin. I think they'd split them up. I think they would just let the club and Michin do their thing, and they'd have AJ Styles just standing alone.
I don't think there's a chance in
a
hell. I don't think there's a chance in hell at the SmackDown guy winning, unless they really want to throw us a curveball just for the sake of throwing us a curveball. It absolutely should be Seth Rollins, and I think it will be Seth Rollins.
I would imagine so. Like, I oddly enough, I would be okay with Edge winning it. Just to have one last run with him as World Heavyweight Champion, just for nostalgia's sake. That would sit fine with me. No. I
guess I understand like why they might pull the trigger on Edge. I can understand it, but I just feel like it could be used differently. I'm not saying Edge, it would be a really good story. It would be a good button on everything, but I just don't feel like he needs it. I know we lean on that.
No,
I lean on that.
uh-uh.
He does not need it. Like it's not necessary. But Seth Rollins, he and I've said, I've been the biggest apologist for how they've utilized Seth Rollins and how he can just keep eating loss after loss after loss after loss. He can.
He needs it.
But he needs it. He needs a big win. He needs something like that. And I think this could be the exact thing that will do it.
Seth is like we've said, it's one of those you have a really good talent when you have somebody who can eat all the pins in the world like Seth. But that can only happen for so long. Like at a certain point, you have to get him back in his winning ways because that's what top talents do. They win, they hold titles, they're in the main event, and he is a main event player for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely needs a title win, a big win here sooner rather than later.
Agreed.
Is there any shot, any chance that there is chicanery where somebody who isn't slated right now in this tournament winds up in it and the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash of the Castle? No. Championship
Night of the
Brawl.
Champions.
Thank you. Is there any chance that winds up being a triple threat match with the Raw winner, the SmackDown winner, and a chicanery edition?
Short of an
I actually just clicked the link.
Damn it.
A quote by our own, but well, not our own, but by Poot's buddy's dad, Bill Apter, this said, "What if Brock Lesnar disrupts everything in Saudi Arabia and somehow winds up with that belt?"
I mean,
it.
Bill. Okay, Bill. I will say this, Bill. I love you, but you are. Like Bill is not a soothsayer, but he's really good at asking prudent questions.
I honestly wasn't thinking
Brock
Lesnar.
Yeah.
I was thinking of perhaps a returning Randy Orton.
Oh.
Interesting.
See, Tom and I both go
Two
like,
people
fuck
went,
yeah.
ooh, and one person went,
Well, somebody like Randy Orton, he doesn't need it. Let's put that out there. He doesn't need it, but it's believable.
Sure.
It would be interesting to say the least.
What, Randy Orton squashing younger talent to continue to get his cachet higher? Absolutely,
Why do you not
believable?
Why do you not have that umbrage with Edge being part of this?
Nah.
Because I like Edge.
But see, that's
That's biased.
Yeah, it's
That's
biased.
biased.
Absolutely, it's absolutely biased. This is not the Pittsburgh Unbiased podcast. This is the Pittsburgh Powder podcast. I'm biased as hell. I'm biased as hell for CM Punk. I'm biased as hell for Brock Lesnar. I'm biased as hell for Edge. I'm biased as hell against Randy Orton because I'm not going to begrudge him anything, okay? He's a very popular...
Smoky Mountain Wrestling, motherfucker.
He is a very popular superstar. And I think he's really good at what he does. I just don't like what he does. I've been over the Orton shtick for about the last decade. I think he's a less successful
Even with the
John
Matt Riddle
Cena.
stuff?
What's that?
I mean, with the Matt Riddle stuff, he was tolerable.
Oh.
I thought they had a nice
I thought that was fun.
I thought it was a
It was
nice
tolerable.
dynamic. It was a nice dynamic.
That's the best thing you're going to hear from me regarding Randy Orton is him being tolerable.
Wow.
Like-
Okay. All right.
So like, you know, that's about as high of a carrot I can dangle for Randy. No, I don't. You know, if you so if you put out this thing, and you have 12 very capable and qualified superstars, and you get it down to 2, not through a typical tournament, mind you, but through a pretty unique style tournament, which is okay. I really believe that if you then insert somebody, be it Orton, be it Lesnar, be it Cody, be it Roman, be it whomever the fuck ever, be it The Rock, I don't care. Whoever it is, if you throw somebody else into that match, I think that you are downplaying what was already an incredibly weak title to start with. And again, I like the idea of the World Heavyweight Championship. I like the style of the belt, and I think it could and will be probably the favored title in WWE. I think it's going to be the Workman's title, and I think that it's going to have the best matches. But all of that being said, right now, it is taking a lot of shots for being a consolation prize. And I think if you have a really great match for said consolation prize, and then you start to build up said consolation prize like the Universal title was, at some point, those tides shift. And it stops being a consolation prize and starts being the title in WWE. So I think that if you throw somebody else randomly in there in a three-way dance at Night of Champions, and I think you immediately cut the legs out from under it.
Okay.
I honestly, and I'll say it again, Rollins is the most over person in the company, not named Cody Rhodes, and I think that there are even some Cody Rhodes detractors. So like I think the Rollins right now is pretty universally like everybody's like, yeah, man, he's the man. Let's sing his theme song. Let's watch him put on fucking great matches with Logan Paul and fucking Omos. Let's watch him be one of the best wrestlers of our generation. It's his time, man. It is absolutely his time.
While I don't share Beef's disdain of Randy Orton, I will agree that inserting Randy or anybody else for that matter into a triple threat situation or whatever kind of muddies things or whatever. So I'll give you that. But
welcome to fucking Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania title win.
Yeah. But I don't share the same disdain that he has. I used to not like Orton a long time ago. I didn't like the pacing of his matches, but that was before I learned to appreciate the psychology of it. So he grew on me, and that was a long time ago. I'm talking back at like 2008, But I've definitely come around, and I really I appreciate him in general. So
I was a big fan of Randy Orton when he first started. Like his deal with Evolution, being the Legend Killer, that was fucking great.
I like that.
And then he started having the voices thing, and he started doing the fucking like Silent Psycho thing, and the chewing on his fucking cheekbones thing that he does, and everything just unnerves the fuck out of me. And then he got over because of the fucking RK out of nowhere meme, and it's so much Orton all the fucking time. Orton. I just got sick of him, and that's where I'm at now.
Speaking of disdain,
yeah.
Sorry, no, you go ahead, Poot.
I was just gonna say I get it. That's all I was really gonna say. I get it. Like, I just people like Randy Orton. It's one of those things like people like grapes. Like it's just like people like Randy Orton. But anyway,
people like grapes. Yeah, people like Randy Orton.
Grapes out of nowhere.
That's a deep cut reference.
You know what though? I feel that reference because sometimes you walk through the store and you grab a grape. No one's gonna be like, "Hey, you gotta pay for that grape." You're like, "Nope, I'm just taking this grape." Yeah. Sometimes you can watch a Randy Orton match and you can be like, "All right, that was okay." You don't have to be the biggest Orton fan in the world, but you're like, "Yeah, all right, it was Orton."
Yeah.
Orton is grapes. I like it, Poot. I like it. #, Orton is grapes.
There you go. Orton is grapes.
Grapes.
Orton is grapes. Orton is grapes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's probably fine. But you were gonna say, speaking of disdain.
Yeah, speaking of disdain, I have a bold and or stupid prediction
We
for-
like those around these parts.
for Night of Champions, and it has to do with Roman Reigns.
Oh boy.
My
Stop
prediction
it.
is Roman Reigns faces off for the WWE Universal Undisputed Universal, whatever they call it, championship in Saudi Arabia against Saudi Arabia's own favorite son, Bill Goldberg.
Shut up.
Well,
Stop it.
I have
Feed 'em.
nothing. I have nothing to
Feed
add
'em.
to that.
Goldberg loves the Saudi Arabia payday, and Goldberg has been chomping at the bit about how he did WWE a favor and
God.
never got that favor returned. So here's the favor returned. We're going to give you a big fat payday in Saudi Arabia against the guy, Roman Reigns. Calling it now. It's not going to be Bobby Lashley. It's not going to be anybody else. It's going to be Bill Goldberg.
Ransom, why can't we have nice things, man? Like, just
You know,
Because WWE loves to bring in Goldberg for the Saudi Arabia shows because Saudi Arabia loves those old 90s guys. And the only one left that is either A, alive, or B, can still wrestle a match is Bill
Stop.
Goldberg.
he can't wrestle a match. What are you talking about? He could never wrestle a match. Don't
The
say
only
things,
one who can physically still get in the ring and not die
Sting.
is Bill Gold. What company does Sting work for?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, you dote.
Just saying.
dote.
Yeah,
I'm saying
it's
that
like dolt, but it's different.
Oh, okay.
A,
Fucking
Bill
Poot.
Bill Goldberg could never wrestle a match.
We're not
He
we're
could-
not arguing that.
Okay. Yeah, he's still alive, but he's no good. He probably will end up almost killing himself or his opponent. Like he almost killed the Undertaker.
I'm
I-
telling you, I'm calling it now.
I actually I saw something. I can't remember where it was. About Goldberg wanting to have some sort of retirement match. Like he feels like he earned it. I mean, he's fucking delusional, but whatever.
Yeah, baby.
You know,
Uh-huh.
A, fuck
Uh-huh.
him. B,
Mhm.
they're talking about trying to. I saw that they may be trying to do something with Goldberg and Sting at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen in Saudi Arabia with Saudi Arabia money. But what is going to happen in Saudi Arabia with Saudi Arabia money is Goldberg versus Roman Reigns.
You know, I know we said that
Ooh, sorry, Beef.
I know that we said that we were going to pick this show, and we haven't picked a Saudi show.
I can't wait. I can't
For a
wait
long
to
time.
pick it. I can't wait to pick
Listen.
Roman Reigns versus Goldberg.
I hate you. Why are you the way that you are?
Oh. Ooh,
I hate-
dearie me. Ooh.
I hate so much of the things you choose to be.
I
Hey,
feel
sitcom reference. Check it off the box.
I feel like we have a direct correlation, or is it causality, between how bad wrestling like product is between the direct happiness and giddiness of Ransom.
Can we pivot off this discussion because now I'm going to become
Nope.
depressed.
Nope. It's gonna
Yeah, but-
happen.
Well, will you fucking call me? Will you call me back into the Discord whenever you're done talking about fucking Goldberg and trying to give me a fucking massive coronary?
All right,
Nope.
best Goldberg matches ever. Go.
Ooh.
None of The one where he lost to Nash. Fuck him. How about that?
The one
don't-
where
I
he
honestly-
lost
I don't
to
think-
Nash.
I don't think it's gonna be. Oh, boy, I don't know if I can even say I don't think it's gonna be Goldberg. Like, shit happens in Saudi Arabia, man.
I mean,
But, like,
that had not occurred to me, but you're making a lot of really good points.
Oh, stop!
yeah.
You know,
When do we get to the breaking kayfabe of this shit? Fuck
Like-
this.
they announced, they did the big thing like, oh, Roman Reigns returns tomorrow on SmackDown. Maybe it's fucking Goldberg that comes out and challenges him. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but like it's, they've done something eerily similar. When was that Goldberg just like came out and challenged Roman Reigns out of fucking nowhere?
What would be even better? Oh no, because that would be his thousandth.
Don't fucking say it, Ransom. I will. I'll fucking drive up to Mordor. I will drive up to Mordor right now
Goldberg
and drive my car through your fucking garage.
Goldberg with this. I mean, he did fucking silver tongue his way out of the fucking beating the Fiend for the title. So like, why not?
Stop it.
You know, convincing.
Have we all
Triple H
lost
that-
our fucking minds? Stop it. Bring yourselves back to reality.
Am I the only one here that gives a shit about the rules?
I'm crazier shit has happened, man.
I'm gonna poop my
Crazier shit
pants.
has happened.
Stop it. I'm gonna poop my pants. You're gonna make me poop.
I think you're gonna make me poop. I think it's a long shot.
Confirm
Goldberg
next
to win.
P3 podcast t-shirt. You're going to make me poop.
I think it's a long shot for Goldberg to beat Roman Reigns. But honestly, as much as none of us want it to happen, except for maybe me, I don't know that it's that much of a long shot to have Goldberg in a match
You're not wrong.
against Roman Reigns.
It's very plausible that they'll do that. As much as I hate them for doing it, or as much as I hate you for celebrating the fact to the point of being wanting to defecate. God damn it. But no. All right, stop. This is
I can't wait.
I can't
wait
even
for the
fucking
group
talk
chat.
because you're making me laugh.
I
With your
can't wait for the
fucking
group chat to blow up tomorrow whenever Goldberg comes out and challenges Roman Reigns. Beef's gonna put it in the Beef's gonna put it in the group chat.
I'm gonna throw.
Goldberg's back, challenges Roman Reigns at Night of Champions.
I'm gonna throw my phone into the river and throw myself off the Turin Bridge.
Ransom.
God damn it. No,
Please
all
don't do that.
right, stop. All right, listen.
Don't tell me to stop. I'm celebrating Goldberg.
Stop it. Anyways,
Goldberg for the win.
Can't.
7 points. Bill Goldberg.
Can't. I hope you pick. You know what? If that no balls, if that fucking happens, if they actually drag his dumb fucking ass out to Saudi Arabia to be fed to Roman Reigns, I want you to put all the points in the world on fucking Goldberg winning. No fucking.
Mark my words on this, the podcast of tonight.
Mark it.
If they put Roman Reigns against Goldberg at Night of Champions, I will put my max point level on Goldberg. I don't think he'll win. No chance in hell. But just to do it, I'll fucking do it. Mark my words. Write it down. Like, you don't even have to ask me what my point is or who the winner's going to be. Goldberg, max point.
It's on the recording.
I'm not going to fight my way out of it, man. I'm right here and now, baby. I'm telling you.
God.
It's going to be Goldberg.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan. Lisa needs braces.
Saudis love some Goldberg, and if WWE can make money off of it, they'll fucking do it.
All right, why are we still talking about
Fucking
him?
true.
Because Goldberg is the best.
Calm
Get
down.
angry. Getting angry.
Goldberg
Gonna
is the
poop.
best. Remember when he put Bret Hart out to pasture? Yeah.
That may have been the only good thing that he did.
Tom's getting upset.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Tom's getting upset.
Tom's getting upset. He's gonna poop his pants.
God almighty.
Here comes the poopin'. Poopy talks. Here comes the poopin'. Poopy doopy 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 doopin'. Poopy poopy. Poopy poopy.
I like how it's like
Poop, fart, fart. Farting matters. We ain't talking farting, then we talking no matter.
Shart matters.
Okay.
Farting.
Well, this is
Nut.
devolving.
Nut.
Well, we are talking about Goldberg, so I mean, it was going to eventually become a talk about shit.
Oh,
Exactly.
That's a fine looking point you make there, Poot. That's honestly, whatever else wrestling wise you guys want to talk about. That was the only question I had was regarding who we thought was going to wind up winning the new World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know if you guys have more wrestling talk or if you want to pivot into other chat.
I'm personally ready to pivot. I don't really have a lot more to kind of discuss this week wrestling wise.
Poot the Bard hates wrestling. It's
Yeah.
on the.
Yep, confirmed.
It's on
Beef
the
said it.
podcast.
It's true. Just like Goldberg
It's on the
coming back.
Poot's getting pissed off. Take a shot. Mark off your bingo cards. Bingo! I got it!
I
Fuck.
had it a
Alright.
half an hour ago. Shut up.
You fucking didn't.
Draw 4.
Draw 4.
If I had a fucking coffee cup, I'd throw it to your head. All right, you fucks.
Rude.
Poot,
What?
tell me why I should get Tears of the Kingdom.
Fucking, listen, okay. I am in, now for anyone listening, I am in the minority here. Breath of the Wild, for me, was such an enjoyable fucking time. Because,
You're not. Everybody loves that game. Everybody.
no, on the podcast, I'm the minority.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking
That's fair.
dial it back. You were ready to go off to the races and yammer before I finished my statement. Calm down.
Boring. Another settlement needs your help.
It was.
Fucking tell me to calm down.
It was calm down. It was.
You are.
Stay out of my basket. I am the one on the podcast that absolutely got him. I was the one on the podcast here. You gonna live? You gonna live?
No.
Okay.
Go to Melville, fuck you, Poot.
Oh, fuck.
You got so on the podcast here. I am the one who's in the minority. When I played Breath of the Wild from the beginning to the end of that game, I enjoyed it. It was a way for me to escape. It was a way for me to go. It was just that sense of what's over that hill, what's down here, like that exploring, that just sense of adventure. The minimal score, I loved it. I loved the feeling that it was like it was you. Like every Zelda game is you against the world of, the land of Hyrule. But like this, it felt like you really were like, you were asleep for 100 years. You wake up, you're at your own devices. There was nothing that it was like, oh, you have to go get the Master Sword. You have to do this. It's like you did the tutorial area and then you were just thrust into the world. And it was like, good luck, have fun, find shit. And I loved that. I loved it. I had so much fun. The combat was interesting. I understand one of the big contentious points is the lack of like true Zelda dungeons. But
Yep.
I thought that I was skeptical as well. But man, I liked those shrines, finding them, solving the little puzzles, moving on. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And whenever Tears of the Kingdom was announced, I was thrilled. And I was like, sure, is it probably going to be, you had filet mignon, how about another one, but this time with some mushrooms and onions? I'm going to go, yes, please, more of that, please. Now, the rest of you, give me the reason why you fucking hated it.
Now, let me go next because I don't hate it. I'm kind of the Switzerland in this one. I didn't hate Breath of the Wild. I just literally ran out of time in my life to devote towards playing it.
That's fair.
When it first came out, that was the reason why I was going to get a Switch, was for Breath of the Wild. However, I forgot that I had already pre-ordered a copy of it for the Wii U. So lo and behold, I got a call from my GameStop one day saying, "Hey, your copy of Breath of the Wild is in." And I'm like, "Am I dreaming? What's going on here?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Your copy of Breath of the Wild on the Wii U." And I was like, "Oh, well, fuck me. All right." So I skipped work that day, and then I started playing it. And I played it for about the first month, just exploring around, finding shrines, just trying to fill out my map. Never even faced off against one of the divine beasts. I love the exploration. I like that it was different from the traditional Zelda game. I'm all about having some change. I will compare that to how the Resident Evil series kind of took a different direction whenever they came out with Resident Evil 4, which is highly touted as like one of the best Resident Evil games ever. So I had no problem with it not being the quote unquote traditional Zelda game. And I love the traditional Zelda games. I just finished playing the Minish Cap just within the last couple of days in what little free time I had. And but I didn't hate Breath of the Wild. I don't have time. So I am not jumping on the bandwagon to run out and get Tears of the Kingdom. I have other games that I will be playing, but I am not opposed to getting it at some point whenever I get a chance to possibly beat the first Breath of the Wild. So that's where I stand.
I want to go.
Okay.
Open world, good. Everything else, bad. Weapon breaking, stupid. All the stupid, tiny, repetitive, another settlement needs your help, fucking shrines. Boring. Lacking of traditional bosses, boring. You had 4 bosses to beat in that game, and they're all essentially the fucking same thing, except one has water power, one has lightning, one has blah 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 blah. Stupid. 4 fucking bosses, all fucking the same. Boo. Let's see, what the fuck else? Oh, you beat the divine beasts, and the first form of the final boss, wham, half its health is gone. Oh, neat. The final boss, what a fucking boring ass shit. He stands in a fucking field and lobs goo grenades at you. Okay. No challenge there whatsoever. The complete and utter lack of any NPC storytelling. Like fucking Ocarina of Time. You had to talk to so many NPCs. There's so many different major stories. There's so many different minor stories. Like, I get it. Oh yeah, Hyrule was ravaged and destroyed, and there's hardly anybody left. And okay, like, not an excuse. Fucking have something. Just nothing. Fucking nothing. 120 of the dumb little fuck shrines. Why? 120 of them. What? I'm gonna again go back to the fucking weapon breaking system. You motherfuckers. Stop it. It was the most aggravating shit ever. The Master Sword. The fucking Master Sword. This fucking sword was the epitome of the hero's power weapon in the Zelda franchise. // Your Master Sword's out of power. It needs to recharge. And what? It needs to recharge?
Really?
I can't hack at somebody with an uncharged fucking Master Sword. Yeah, I get it. In other Zelda games, if you didn't have max hearts, you couldn't shoot your little shit out of the Master Sword. But in this one, no, the Master Sword just shatters into mystical nothingness, and you just have to fucking wait for it to recharge before you can / again. Stop it. I can't do it. What the fuck else? Like, it was the utter lack of diversity when it comes to enemies. Bokoblins, Lynels, Lizalfos, Moblins, fucking bats. Jellies that jump out of the ground. Oh, excuse me, Wizrobes. Okay, there's your enemy set. There's your enemy set right there, aside from the 4 fucking boring ass bosses.
No
They're
skull
essentially, you had skull versions of Bokoblins and Lizalfos.
but no
That's
skull,
it.
but no skulltulas.
No!
No. Oh
No.
God! Wow.
No. The
I got.
fighting system was neat. I will give that to the game. The fighting system was neat. The open world was very positive. If they could have given me an open world Zelda game that had some shrines peppered about, but also had dungeons with unique bosses that you had to fight in order to complete something, do something. Fine. This game could literally be completed if you wanted to in 5 to 10 minutes. You get off the Great Plateau, you can go straight to the fucking final boss. I've fucking watched it being done. I couldn't do it. I'm not saying that the game is boring and easy because that can be done. No, I couldn't do it, but I've seen people do it. They complete the shrines on the Great Plateau, they get their fucking floaty device, and they go straight to Hyrule Castle. They don't find a single shrine. They don't fight a single major boss. They just go to the thing, fight Calamity Ganon, fight big glowy goo beast. Game over. It could be done in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not saying that the open world mechanic of the option of that is bad, but like, I don't know. And again, I'm all for change and newness. The Metroid franchise is a perfect example. They had a lot of traditional Metroid games. Then they went to Metroid Prime, which was a first-person shooter version of Metroid. It was completely different. Metroid was a side-scrolling, up-and-down type game for the longest time. But then they pivoted to first-person, which made things completely different. I thought the Metroid Prime series was fan-fucking-tastic. It held true to the traditional elements of a Metroid game. You had to find your upgrades. You had to, follow a path. You had to fight unique bosses in order to get your upgrades. You had a very unique set of dungeons or whatever. And then you had a unique final boss. So I'm not a traditionalist that's like, oh, if it's not a traditional side-scrolling Zelda game, it can't be a bing bong thing. No. There were too many things in that game that I did not enjoy. It became immensely boring after the first 50 or so stupid little puzzle shrines. I was over it. I was bored with it. I didn't complete the game strictly because I couldn't give two shits about trying to complete it. I beat 2 divine beasts. Excuse me again. Pardon me. I apologize. I beat 2 divine beasts. I fucking completed 100 of those dumbass shrines. And now I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to finish the final 2. My son got all the divine beasts. He beat the game. I watched him beat the game. It was neat. But I couldn't be bothered to sit down and play it. I would much rather play something different. And if it's going to be the same thing in Tears of the Kingdom, your fucking shield broke. Oh, your fucking weapons break. Oh, your Master Sword's out of power. I'm out.
I never got the Master Sword. I don't like the fact that even if your Master Sword is out of power, that you can't somehow
use it.
It's a sword. It's
out of power. You can't use it until it recharges. It's out of power. Oh, and thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
You reminded me of another thing about the fucking Master Sword. Okay. In other Zelda games, you needed to obtain something in order to get the Master Sword. In this one, you have to complete a number of fucking shrines and have at least so many hearts, because pulling the Master Sword out of the fucking pedestal drains your life. So you progressively lose hearts as you're pulling and pulling and pulling on the Master Sword. And if you don't have enough fucking hearts, you can't pull the Master Sword out. So all you essentially have to do is complete enough shrines and choose heart containers instead of stamina. And then you just go yank this Master Sword out of a pedestal that will eventually lose charge, and you can't fucking use it until it recharges. I have so many problems with this game. I have so many problems with it. I don't want another one that's like it.
Before we get Beef's take on it, I will concede two things. The Master Sword thing kind of got to me. I was like, you could have at least, even if you wanted to be like, okay, it ran out of energy, just drop it down to the, like, you know, a portion of its damage or something, or make it like the damage of a regular broadsword or whatever. Like that
Hey,
not broadsword. That's fine. Like Tom said, it's a sword.
Yeah, it's a sword.
But so I will concede on that. That kind of irked me. Like I was like, come on. So I never used it. Like I was like, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna relegate this to like, I'm gonna keep it on me, and it will just be like, oh shit, my like arguable better weapons broke. The other thing that I will concede is I loved the shrines. I loved exploring. I loved the little puzzles, especially the island where you go to the island and you have everything taken away and you have to solve 3 puzzles on the island. Love that.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah, I found that place by accident, and fuck that.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome because you find like for you found it by accident. For me, I went, you know, I have enough stamina. I wonder if I could fly out there. Let's fucking try. And I did that and I was like, oh, this is fucking different. This is neat. Or like when you're sailing through the sky and you turn the corner around a mountain and you see this giant fuck you labyrinth. You're like, whoa, like that. What is this? Like, I love that. I thought that was cool. But the other thing that I will concede is that when I got to the final boss, I did beat all four divine beasts. So I had it spoiled for me that it's like, okay, they take the damage off of Ganon, so it makes the fight quicker. The first fight with Ganon was great. The second one in the field, seeing the scope and the scale going, oh fuck, this is astronomically huge. But then when I realized what you had to do, I was like, oh, okay, that was a little underwhelming for an end. But the way that instead of going like, well, that ending was bullshit, I went, oh, that was a lackluster ending fight with old Calamity Ganon. But for me, it was going, the journey was the part of the game that I loved. It was everything up to that point. And I went, I love this. And I never did a second playthrough. I just ate up that first run. And I kept saying, you know, I should sit down and do that. And like Tom, life gets in the way, so dedicating time to it is tough. But like right now, like this weekend, I'm going to have time. I'm going to have a little bit of time to like sit and digest it and play it and you know, kind of take my time with it.
Poot, are you buying the digital version or are you getting a physical copy?
Oh, physical copy. Why?
I am picturing the Twilight Zone episode where the dude with the glasses and the reading, and he's like, he steps on the glasses at the end of it and he goes, but there was time now. You're going to have to install some stupid fucking update because that's the way that every video game works now. Mm-hmm. And your fucking internet's going to crap out because of what's fucking going on with the breeze line. And you're going to be so upset and pissed off. And you're just going to sit there and go,
oh, no.
But there was time now.
No. They're coming on Saturday at 12:15, and I don't plan on starting it because it's going to be showing up tomorrow evening. I've got a couple things that I have to take care of tomorrow. I'm going to wait until Saturday after I'm done with work, and Breezeline comes and eyeballs the internet, and then I'm going to sink my teeth into it. So, yeah. So like that, I already thought about that. So you can pull back your sad Poot fucking analogy. But I do like that. There was time now. My internet just cackles. You hear like a Vincent Price laugh, just like from the end of Thriller. But
we will keep this in mind.
Those two things I will concede on.
Surprise, surprise! I am a traditionalist. And like every Zelda game after the second was most of them were like you find 3 things or 4 things or whatever, and then it's like once you do that, you realize that like that quest was just the beginning. You're on a path to a bigger world now, and then shit opens up for you. And I was like, oh, maybe that's the case with this game. Maybe the Divine Beast is just the first thing. Nope, that's the game. Like, hey, you ran through the Divine Beast in 40 minutes. Great job. You win. Nope. Here are all these shrines. Go do shrines. Go grind for levels. No, I mean, I'm fine with open world. And I mean, honestly, like, more or less, all Zelda games have been open world. Like, you can freely move about the map as you want. Like, yes, sometimes you have items that, like, absolutely preclude you from doing so. But for the most part, you can go where you need to go. If you want a sequence break, you absolutely can. I don't know, man. Like, I just felt very whelmed. I'm not going to sit here and say that I hated it. I never beat it. I think I just got to the camel when I stopped playing, which was my last Divine Beast. I'm not gonna say I hated it. There were some clever things that I thought was neat. A couple of things I had to look up because I'm like, oh, I would have never figured that one out on my own. And like, I like the temple mechanic, like the shrine mechanic. They all started to feel very samey after a while, and it felt like I was just doing homework. But like like there were occlusion of major items. Like the bow and arrow didn't feel as important. The boomerang wasn't really there. The hook shot wasn't there at all. Like these are major things that exist in the Zelda zeitgeist. And again, I understand that like trying to follow the path from like Zelda 1 to fucking I think Wind Waker was the last. Maybe Breath of the Wild Link is the last one now. Anyway, try to follow that gets real muddled. I get it.
You talking about the storyline path, or are you talking about what?
Yeah.
I meant to ask because of the fact that I hadn't beat it. I have the Hyrule Historia book. That I got that with. Well, I got the digital version whenever they released Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. Like that, the Wii U that I have is actually like the gamepad has like the Hylian like script and stuff around the edges of the Wii U gamepad. Like that's like I got that. Like that was the reason why I got why I moved up from the Wii to the Wii U is because of Wind Waker HD, because I didn't have a GameCube and I never got to play it myself. I watched one of my other buddies play a good portion of it, but I never played it myself for the longest time. So where does the storyline for Breath of the Wild fall in on the Zelda timeline?
That's a good looking question.
Like, did they ever address that, or did they ever confirm?
It falls in after Twilight Princess.
Oh, really? Okay, hang on. Hold on 1 second. I gotta grab my Hyrule Historia book.
He has to grab the tome. The tome.
TLDR though, I just feel like there were too many changes. And I mean, like I agree with basically everything Ransom said, and like if they would have peppered in some of those changes over the course of several games, several generations. Okay, but I mean, it was like everything all at once,
Well,
and it was
Everybody
it was
tout.
it was a different game.
Everybody touts the fact like, oh, it was open world. It was open world. Oh, it's so unique. It was open world. Fuck you.
So it
The
was Ocarina of
first Zelda
Time.
game.
Jesus, you went
Very
from 0
first.
to 100 real fast.
No, listen,
Well,
Ocarina
I'm
of Time.
grumpy.
Ocarina of Time wasn't open world like how this game is quote unquote open world. There's
It very
Ocarina.
fuck well is.
No,
You can go wherever the hell you
no.
want.
No,
The
there's a
fucking
difference.
shut it. The first Zelda game
Jesus.
was open world. You could traverse the entire map of Zelda One from go. You didn't even need to go and pick up the sword from the old man. If you wanted to skip that fucking cave,
You
could
would
have
die. You had
explored
no
every-
way to protect yourself.
it doesn't matter. You could still have traversed the entire map, every single square frame of that map. You could have traversed from the word go. So for anybody that's like, well, it was open world, it was unique, it was one of the first of its kind. No, it wasn't. First Zelda game, number one, completely open world.
That's what I'm saying.
Complete.
They've all been open world. You can go wherever the hell you want. And yeah, like I said, sometimes there will be places that you need like certain items to get into. But yeah, I mean, like you said, from the fucking word go, you could go wherever the hell you want. Yeah, I mean, yeah, now it's in 3D, but guess what? So was Ocarina.
It depends on your definition of open world, because yes, you could deviate a little bit with like Ocarina of Time. There are sometimes like you could go explore a bunch of stuff, but you had to go do the forest temple before you did the fire temple. You had to do the fire temple before you did the water temple, etc.
You had to do temples in order, but the map itself was open world.
But there's a difference between that. I get what you're saying.
In the term of open world, it's not. I mean, it is. In the term of open world, it's open world, because if you look at Skyrim and Fallout, those are open world games, but you can't go directly to the end. You have to go from A to B to C to D to get to the end. But they're still open world games. You can go anywhere on the map you want to.
Okay. Like I think the point is that like those games, they're open world in the sense that you can walk through the map. Like once in Ocarina of Time, for example, once you get to Hyrule Field, yes, you can just go to any area. Breath of the Wild, I think, and this might be splitting hairs here, okay? I'm well aware of this. But Breath of the Wild, if you can see it, you can go there. Short of running into the edge of the fucking world, you can go there.
You could go there, but you can die. Like you can't go to the top of a mountain because you freeze to death.
Yeah, but you have like tools to keep you like warm and not die.
But if you're splitting hairs with open worldness, I'm going to split hairs right back. You couldn't go to Death Mountain.
Yes, you could. You would die, but you would go there.
Yeah, you could. You would die.
You had to quest for stuff. In Zelda 1, you didn't have to quest for shit.
Yeah,
it's on
Ocarina of Time. In Ocarina of Time, you could go straight to Death Mountain.
Yep.
Didn't have to quest for anything.
You could go. Yeah, but if you went into the top of Death Mountain, it would be like, whoa, you're gonna die if you stay in here.
If you went into the dungeon.
Yeah.
All right. Again,
but in any case, like
more importantly,
open world. No, from the word go, Zelda was an open world game.
So you said that the Breath of the Wild falls in after Twilight Princess, correct?
Yes, because at the end of Twilight Princess, Link kills Ganondorf. Ganondorf loses his power because the Triforce of Power abandons him. So he is dead. This takes place after that, because in Breath of the Wild 2, you come across the mummified remains of Ganondorf. Who has a wound in his chest, which is exactly the same as the wound he got in Twilight Princess whenever he was stabbed with the Twilight Sword or the whatever sword he winds up ripping out of his chest and causing havoc with. End of speech.
Okay. No, I was just curious. I'm sitting here looking at the timeline, and for those who are not inundated into the chronology of the Legend of Zelda, so this is not how the games were released, obviously, but it starts with Skyward Sword is the beginning. Then you go to that's the creation of the land and sky. The ancient battle and reincarnation of the goddess Hylia, et cetera, et cetera. You go on to the Minish Cap, the rise of the evil Vati. Then after that is Four Swords, which I don't believe I played, but I would
That
like.
was fun.
What did that come out on GameCube as well?
Yeah, that's where I played it.
Because there's Four Swords and there's Four Swords Adventures. So there's two different like Four Swords games. So either way, I need to fucking play Four Swords.
I think that was like a DS game.
It was, but you could also get it on GameCube because I never had a DS.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. So then you have Ocarina of Time, and then that's where the timeline splits, depending on if from Ocarina of Time the hero is defeated. That goes into the decline of Hyrule and the last hero. So that brings us to Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, Link's Awakening, then the first Legend of Zelda game, and then Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. The hero is triumphant, where you beat Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time. The Sacred Realm remains protected. The Twilight Realm and the Legacy of the Hero then happens. So you have Majora's Mask. Then the Demon Thief Ganondorf is executed, like Ransom mentioned. You have Twilight Princess. Then apparently Breath of the Wild happens. And then Four Swords Adventures, the reincarnation of Ganondorf, the resurrection of Vati. The other split of the last split of the timeline is where Ganondorf is sealed. Then Ganondorf is resurrected, Hyrule is sealed, and then flooded. That brings us Wind Waker, then Phantom Hourglass, and then a new continent is discovered. A new Hyrule Kingdom is founded, and that gives you Spirit Tracks. And you have the Demon King Meliodas is resurrected.
So with this like sitting where it is, obviously they're constantly, with every Zelda release, they're updating where games fall in the timeline. That's
right.
Fine. And
Yeah.
we've all kind of accepted that. You know what I mean? However, I'm digressing a little bit just because I want to try and make a point. And this was the thing for me. And I think this is where I don't want to say umbrage. I don't think umbrage is the correct word, but like where I differ from other Zelda fans. Mm-hmm. I remember playing the first Zelda when I was a little kid at a Super Bowl party because I didn't care about football. And at the house that we went to, it was one of my dad's friends. They were having a party downstairs and like went up and the kids were playing video games upstairs and they had Legend of Zelda and I saw the gold cartridge and went, ooh.
Yeah, buddy.
And so I put it in and they like got me and they didn't tell me anything about it. They were like, okay, name your character. Okay, here we go. I had no idea that the little black square was a cave. I was a dumb kid. But like, you know, I was like walking around and I kept dying and I was like, this I can't win. This sucks. Like, and the kids were older than the kid who was, you know, there was older than me. And I was like, well, can I play like Mario or something? He goes, no, you picked this one. You got to play that. And I was like, great. So like no tips, no nothing. So I came into Zelda with a bad taste in my mouth. Now, that being said, that's not the main factor here. After my Nintendo, I was a Genesis kid. So Sonic the Hedgehog, Toe Jam and Earl, Rise Star, Kid Chameleon, all that. So I had a Genesis. Everyone else I knew had Super Nintendos. And I remember them talking about A Link to the Past and how amazing it was. And I just remember I'm like, Zelda, fuck that game. I didn't get back into I didn't get back into like gaming and stuff like that until Zelda until the N64, and they were like, yo, Ocarina of Time, and I was hanging out with my friends Sean and Jay, and we sat down and we played it, and I was like, this is incredible. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, one day I need to play those older games again. If this is like what it's like, and going back, graphics aside, I don't care about like 8-bit graphics. I don't care about the graphics. Like if a game's good, it's good.
Right.
I just never went back and did it. And then years later in college, I was hanging out with my buddy Dave. We sat down and in one day played the entire Zelda 1 and beat it. And I felt like there was this redemption. But the Zeldas I loved started Ocarina of Time. So Ocarina of Time, and then I played Twilight Princess, and it was a fucking magical game. So good. Just from a visual standpoint, from a gameplay standpoint, from a story standpoint, mechanics, everything. It was, in my opinion, it is a masterpiece. And I loved and I didn't use a guide for it. It was completely figuring it out as I went. And I loved that. I didn't really spend time. I didn't really spend time with Skyward Sword. I didn't have a Wii, so I didn't really care. So then when I heard the idea and the theory behind Breath of the Wild, I went, yay. Because I love just games where you just explore and find stuff. It's like Skyrim. It's like Fallout. I love going into a game, not knowing what's happening, not knowing mechanics, and just going. I love that. And I went back and
Did you say that that's why you hated Zelda initially?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, okay, you can just listen. Like you can just fucking listen. You can just fucking listen. The situation for Zelda 1.
Is he sure?
The situation for that was more the thing that left a bad taste in my mouth, not the actual game. The problem was I didn't understand. I was young. I didn't get it. The most I had was, hey, run right and don't die. That's really what my gaming experience was. That and McKids, which is also run right and don't die. So when I went back and did that, I was like, man, this was really great. I wish I would have understood when I was a kid. So that led me to going, now, especially with the virtual consoles, I went, I need to play A Link to the Past. I need to play that game. Everybody says it is Beethoven's fifth of video games. It is,
masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
Poot, don't do it. Don't do it.
Shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
Don't do it.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
I played it and I went, the music is great. It looks cool. The story's basic and fun. You feel like you grow as you play. But I got real fucking bored real quick. I was like, I got frustrated because I'm just like, okay, now what? Like, it was like, I got halfway through and it just didn't hold my attention. I still want to play it, but I'm like, I don't.
With Breath of the Wild.
I don't want to look up a guide. I don't want to have to look up where things are and what they do. But if I get stonewalled, the way I deal with it is putting a game down and then coming back to it later. And the problem with that game is I started back up and I go, wait, what the fuck was I doing? Oh, yeah, okay. I have to do this in order. And Beef, you said you can skip shit if you want. Yeah, if you want to glitch it or you're doing a randomizer. You can do, things you are tasked. You can do them, you can do some things out of order, but to do A, you usually have to go do B and then come back to A because you can't do A unless you glitch through things or you use a cheat or whatever. it's meant to be played in order. And you can explore the world. That was my favorite part of that, is wandering around and looking. But like, I went, there's nothing, like, what do I do? Like, it was very much that. The difference in my mind between that and Breath of the Wild for me was that even if when I did put down Breath of the Wild for a month in my playthrough and I came back to it, I never felt like I was like, what the fuck was I doing? Because I went, all right, let's get our legs back under us. Let's just go explore.
Because you do the same fucking thing in that game.
Yeah.
So
not
put it down
yet,
for 3
Beef.
Yeah.
No, you
put it down
don't.
for 3
It is
years
played
and
in
pick
order.
that game
It is
right back up.
It's 4 dungeons. It's 8 dungeons, and then you beat Ganon. It is formulaic and in order. That is how you play that fucking game.
Once you get to the Link to the Past, once you get to the Sacred Realm, you have to do, I think, the first 2 Crystal Maidens in order. But after that, you're pretty much like until you get to Turtle Rock, you can kind of do things as you need to, as you want to, rather.
But see, the other thing is too, this is coming from someone who has never played the game even once. Every other human being I know is like, I played that game 95 times and done 76 randomizers. Like, okay. Like, cool.
I've never touched a randomizer with it, but I would love to.
But
I've
still,
never touched a randomizer either.
you know the game inside and out. Of course, to you, it makes fucking sense and it's whimsical. The other reason that everyone loves it so much is because it's from a time period when your life was more simple. That's the thing, is it's like, it's home, it's comfort, it's those things. And maybe
That's part of it. The other part is it's an amazing game.
But
I sat down to play Link to the Past about 2 years ago, and I had way more fun with it than I did Breath of the Wild.
So
because you were like, I love this game, yay! Like, that's what you did. You remember it from when you were a kid, and you remember the grand adventure of it.
Now, hold
Breath
on.
of the Wild is that mindless game, though. Like, you can play it for a month, put it down for 3 years, and pick it right back up again and go, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was exploring one of 120 fucking dumb little shrines, and there's 4 major bosses.
And that's the other thing, is you guys are like, where's my 8 dungeons? You just want the same thing.
You damn right I do. You damn right I do. Because
hold on.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Listen.
Yeah.
Change is inevitable.
You can expound upon it. Listen, Twilight Princess did a great job of changing it up, making it a little bit different, but staying on that same path. And Twilight Princess was a fucking masterpiece. And that has nothing to do with my life being great, because I lived with my fucking parents when I beat Twilight Princess. Okay? It has nothing to do with the warm and fuzzy. It has nothing, because Twilight Princess was fucking immaculate. It has nothing to do with technology being better. Oh, Beef, you're just resisting the change because it's not like this. No, I think that Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game made. Period. So it has nothing to do with any of those things you're throwing out, Poot.
But the other thing
it
is
has
too,
to do with the fact that Breath of the Wild is meandering and grindy and samey.
No, it's because you're going into a world that's not populated by 10,000 fucking towns. You're not populated by it's just like, to me, I guess it's because you went out there and it is just this like unfettered fucking wasteland. Like I don't know. I guess wasteland's the wrong word. But like, to me, it appealed to me in that exploration. Like A Link to the Past. And here's the thing. If you say, like, it's the same thing if I say I've never played Final Fantasy VII, everybody's ready to fucking crucify me. Like, I don't understand. I've tried. I'm not saying the game's bad. I like the mechanics. Like the items I did collect are neat. There were some dungeons that made me go, wow, this was really ahead of its time. But I just don't. I played it and I just go, like, it's a Zelda game. It's not different. It's not like, to me, it's not any more special, like, than any other one. Like, it's just there. Like, I get why it is held in such high regard, because the music's iconic. The look of it is iconic. But, like, like, at the beginning of it, I was like, I was like, uh-oh, my uncle's gone. He's dead. Take this sword. Zelda is your... Like, okay, Zelda's my what? Cool, I'm supposed to just think about that the entire time? Neat. Like, I just, like, it didn't grab me. Like I said, I look at it and I go, I get it's good, but I don't get it. Like, I understand it is real good. And Tom's been trying to jump in, and I'm sorry, Tom. But, like, I just don't understand why if you say, yeah, I tried playing A Link to the Past, and then everyone does exactly what Beef does. They go,
Don't you fucking do it. Don't you talk about my video game Lord and Savior that way.
like, I don't get it.
For me, it's the same way whenever you guys make like a Big Lebowski quote and I don't immediately get it, because to me that is not like one of the movies that I've watched over and over and over and over and over and over again and have it ingrained into my brain. So different strokes for different folks.
It's okay to be wrong. You can Poot can hate Link to the Past. Tom can hate Big Lebowski. It's okay to be wrong.
I don't hate Big Lebowski, Beef. Don't put fucking words in my mouth. I don't hate it. I just don't have the same love for it like how you do. That's all. Huh?
Huh?
Jesus. You are.
Yeah, I don't mean to have my, I'm sorry, Tom. I don't mean to have my ire raised so high, but like,
yeah, raise it.
I tried playing it, and every single time I try and go, all right, it's the same thing with The Witcher 3. Everyone talks about how great The Witcher 3 is, but the second I heard the words out of my friend Sean's mouth, oh yeah, after 20 hours, that game really opens up. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to spend 20 hours hating a game to then love a game.
I never played Witcher 1 or 2 or 3, so can we all just agree that the greatest Zelda game is fucking Link's crossbow training and be done with it?
Get out.
Seriously. No, I will slightly disagree with Poot on one thing. Some games, yes, it can be a nostalgia factor, but there are games that I've gone back and played that I played as a kid and I thought were like so amazing. I go back and I play again and I'm like, this doesn't hold up as well as I thought it did. For me personally, Link to the Past does hold up. Now, that's not because that's like the first Zelda game that I played or the first one that I beat, because the first one that I played was OG Zelda, also on a gold cartridge. My cousin had it. And had I known, if I would have had the foresight to know as a kid, like how much a gold cartridge would have been worth, you better believe I would not have been actually like playing that on the fucking Nintendo. But the first one that I beat was Ocarina of Time. And so that one kind of always holds a special place for me, nostalgia wise, but also because I feel like it's it's just in general a good game. Link's Awakening, that one's also really good for me. I played the Minish Cap. Like I said, I just beat it recently, and I forgot how much I like it. But it's also, it kind of like, it feels a lot like Link's Awakening and a little bit like Link to the Past. So I don't know. That's why I like it. Some of the other ones, like like I like Majora's Mask. Twilight Princess was really good. When the ones that I kind of was like on of the ones that I played were Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. They didn't wow. They didn't
I've heard
wow.
those are skippable. Yeah,
they didn't wow. Yeah, they didn't wow me. I mean, they were fun. If you like a Zelda game, they were fun. But compared to some of the other ones, And I tried to play Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I played it for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I said,
completely skippable.
And I said, what the fuck is this?
I even tried to come back as an adult and play it. I tried it a couple years ago too.
Yeah.
And I
Not
got,
good.
I think, through the second dungeon. I was like, I can't. Like,
Which,
this is just
I apologize, which one was that?
The
side scroller.
Zelda 2 on NES, The Adventure of Link.
The side scroller. It was just not.
The bastard child of
Yeah.
all the Zelda games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. when everyone was like, "Oh, why don't you just make Zelda like Mario?" and they tried, and it was just
Now-
fucking
Horrible.
Now, see, but again, different strokes for different folks. I pivot into the Metroid series since Ransom brought it up. The one Metroid game that people always give so much shit on, Metroid Other M, I actually like it. I thought it was a neat, innovative way to combine because you essentially, it was kind of like it was like I'm just gonna call it like 2.5D, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. So there was that, but there were parts where you would have to use the Wii remote and like actually like go into like a first person mode for stuff. I thought it was interesting. The storyline was kind of
Yep.
And I think the reason why people gave it so much shit is because the storyline made Samus very, very vulnerable, and not this like super badass chick that we've, the super badass heroine that we've come to know and love. Like it really, it made her seem way, way too vulnerable. But I think that's not necessarily always a bad thing to humanize somebody more. Like that she's not just this like, like complete badass. Like she's still human. So I don't know. It was, I didn't mind it. I liked it. I know people give it a lot of shit, but I was a fan of it. I was very hesitant at first. I know Ransom said he enjoyed the Metroid Prime games. I did too, but before I ever played the very first one, like whenever they first talked about it coming out, I said, "Oh boy." I was like, this is either going to be like, there is no middle ground. It is either going to be really good or it is going to be absolutely fucking terrible. I was like, because I don't know how you're going to platform in first person. I don't, yeah, and to their credit, somehow I didn't mind platforming in first person in Metroid Prime, but you give me fucking what the fuck was it? Dying Light. Is that the zombie one where you're like in first person running around?
Yes.
Yeah, I hated that. Absolutely hated it. And I was like bastardized for it.
I am a first person shooter. Just that, those are my games. First person shooters are, since GoldenEye, like from then on, like I have been all about first person shooters. And when I found out that I could do a first person shooter in a Metroid game, I was 100% in from the word fucking go. And it did not disappoint in the slightest.
Oh yeah, no. Once I actually sat down and played it,
It's
like
amazing.
I was just talking about like before it came out. Like I remember my thoughts being like, this is either going to be the most amazing thing ever, or it's going to be a swing and a miss.
Oh,
Because of the fact that it was such a huge deviation from what we knew of other Metroid games. You know what I mean?
And that proves positive right there that you can have a major deviation and still make it work.
Resident Evil 4, same thing.
Major deviation and it still worked. The Metroid Prime games were beautifully done. They were amazing games.
Can we talk about how hard the second one was? Like of all the three games, the second one was fucking ridiculous.
It was extremely hard,
Oh my
but
god,
it was still immensely fun.
it was.
And it was a huge deviation from the other Metroid games in a multitude of factors. The first person shooter thing aside, like it didn't combine beams like other Metroid games did. Like you had to turn beams on and off. It's just no, like they killed it with that one, and I think that's why that's one of the reasons why I was so disappointed with Breath of the Wild, is that the Metroid Prime games spoiled me on, you can take something that's tried and true like the Metroid franchise and you can turn it into something that is essentially completely different and still make it work, and then still make it work very, very well. And that's what I thought Breath of the Wild was going to be. I thought Breath of the Wild was going to be something that was completely different, but it was going to work very well. But from the very start, it was, turn after turn after turn was, oh, why are they doing this? Oh, this is dumb. Oh, I'm so over this. Like it was disappointing for me from the very, like after you got off the Great Plateau, I'm like, all right, I can get out there and explore. I'm going to find some dungeons. It's going to be awesome. Nope. Another settlement needs your help. It was repetitive, mindless, grinding nonsense. And it did not hold attention whatsoever. Even the divine beasts, those divine beast quests, dungeons, whatever you want to call them, were essentially big shrines, the same type of puzzles, except you had to solve multiple little shrine puzzles within one divine beast to get to a boss that was essentially the same 4 bosses at every turn. It was an utter letdown. Even as a game, like set aside the fact that it deviated from the traditional Zelda games. Even if you would have taken Breath of the Wild and made it completely new, a new protagonist, new antagonist, new world, if everything was new, I would have been the same amount of bored and disappointed in that game as I was because it was a Zelda game. Because it was just grindy, repetitive, frustrating bullshit. And I think, I was disappointed in the fact that it was a Zelda game. But even if it wasn't, if your main character's name was Bill and the bad guy's name was Dwight, like, it still would have just been utterly disappointing. You could have had it in the land of Alpha Centauri on a different planet.
Ah, you're talking about the Outer Wilds.
Ugh.
Damn it. All right. But before we get...
just bullshitty. But no, before we get, Tom, I have a problem with the 3 of you, and I'm going to fucking tell you about it. Because I can't get one of the 3 of my best friends on the planet to fucking play a game with me. I have to rely on random people that I meet on the internets and befriend there. No one will play DMZ with me. That's fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare DMZ. It's an extraction shooter.
I was going to say I hate anime.
One of the 3 of you idiots.
I
play this game with me.
That actually ties into something I was going to ask you.
What?
I was going to ask you guys, not going into like an extremely long diatribe because we did that.
I'm going to give you one.
We did that with our with our problems that we had with Breath of the Wild and other games or whatever. Is there a type of video game, a genre or whatever that you don't care for? Like, whether it's first person shooter or whether it's RPGs or anything like that.
Oh, God games.
What's that?
Nothing. I'll wait. I'm sorry. Finish what you were saying.
No. I was gonna say, what is a type of game that you generally do not enjoy?
Oh, absolutely, like God games, like Civilization and shit like that. Boring.
Okay.
Boring as fuck.
Okay. Gotcha. Beef?
I don't know, man. I am not great and don't super enjoy first-person shooters. Looter shooters are not bad, and like first-person RPGs I can deal with, but like I don't know,
we play
man.
a bunch of Halo when you come over.
Well, so Halo is like the exception. I always have a blast playing Halo. but like a lot of modern. So like it started with GoldenEye. I was terrible at GoldenEye, and like I never got much better. Halo, for whatever reason, I enjoy, and like I do okay in. But like other first-person shooters, it's a struggle for me to really kind of get into.
You know what? It's kind of funny that you say that because this may be the reason why I haven't chomped at the bit, Ransom, to jump on and play, to play with you on that. Is I'm not traditionally a huge first person shooter fan myself, but like Beef, for whatever reason, GoldenEye and the entire Halo series, I will sit down and play the entire Halo series. Love it. Like, I did not get to Halo Infinite because life, time, etc. Whatever.
You don't have to.
Okay, good to know.
Makes me sad to say that.
But I really enjoyed the games. I don't know if it's because I'm a sucker for something with a good story, and I really enjoyed the story of Halo, or that the controls felt easy enough. I don't know what it was that for some reason, just first person shooters, I never really got into them. Part of me wants to say it was because like it was just like, well, I actually lived that lifestyle, and I'd be sitting there picking it apart going, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Like, I don't know. Well, for whatever reason, I just never really got into it. Plus, I don't know. Trying to play like big battle royale first person shooters and stuff online, like I feel like there's so many people that have way too much time on their hands, or much more time on their hands than what I do. They're so good at it, and I'm at like such a disadvantage. I would be so frustrated so quickly. I'm just like, all right, well, this was fun getting my ass handed to me for like half an hour straight. Let me go see what I can waste my time on now. So what say you, Ransom? Is there a particular type of game that you're not the hugest fan of?
I think if it's the type of gameplay that I think Poot was talking about, it's that one.
Like Sims,
Command and Conquer.
Oh yeah, RTS.
RTS, that's it. RTS.
Yeah, real-time strategy games.
RTS.
Yeah, don't like those.
Again,
like I don't like build, like I don't like the rush to build stuff in order to get an army, and then have either the computer or another player just come like flying in and wiping me out because I didn't build fast enough. Fuck those games.
Yeah, like they're just like, I don't know, man. Like there's some. It's weird when it comes. Like Beef said, first person shooters were never my forte.
Yeah.
I said they were never my forte. I didn't say they didn't. I hated them. God almighty, you say words and then everyone goes, well, he said he hates everything. Like, it like,
yeah, man.
No, man.
Yeah, man.
No, man. So, like,
yeah.
Like, that's the thing is, like, the weird thing is, I like first-person games, but first-person shooters, I was always bad at. And it's not because, it's because, like, usually when I get involved with a first-person shooter, everyone's like, oh yeah, I've prestiged 7 times and I know how to do X, Y, and Z, and they know all the maps inside and out. So all that happens is the beginning of me going, okay, let me get my legs under this game. You just fucking, you spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. Oh man, this is going great. I love this. Spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. And then I stop playing them because it's not fun. That being said, when we played Blops 2 on the Xbox, I had a blast with Blops, man. Like that game was so much fun.
Yeah, that was another one that was weirdly like cathartic.
Oh yeah. Like
that one wasn't bad. Thinking back, I 100% agree with you and Ransom. Like RTS is the shits. I hate RTS games, and it's probably because my fucking brother plays them all the fucking time, and I'm like, you're just fucking dragging and clicking and dragging and clicking and dragging and clicking. Yeah, but I need to get my resources up so that I can beat the Zerg. I don't fucking give a fuck. Yeah, but this got this has, full motion video of, this act. I don't fucking care. You could get the fucking best actor in the world, and fuck RTS.
Ransom, I will say this here and now. Let me know
Stewing.
when you're free. Like when's a free like when you have some free time.
Every fucking day.
Well, okay. Well, damn it. I walked into that one. Sorry. When you
Tuesday
can
nights.
Well, when you have the time to sit down and kind of walk me through the game so that I won't absolutely be terrible and have a horrible time at it, I will try to sit down and learn the game. I'm willing to try because I'm for whatever reason, like, again, not the biggest fan of first-person shooters, but it's weird. For some reason, I loved World War Z, and I would play the shit out of that. You can do first person mode in it, or you can do like third person kind of over the shoulder. But for whatever reason, I liked World War Z.
Now,
Maybe I would like this one. I don't know. But it's nothing about not wanting to play it with you. I just literally there's not enough hours in the day. I skipped out on my stream tonight to talk more wrestling and now talk video games with you guys and everything like that too.
Choice.
It was. But that said,
You can choose to play with me. You don't.
okay, man. For me, Call of Duty.
Okay, man.
Call of Duty Warzone. The reason that I will try, I will put my computer through its paces to do this. My graphics card. My computer is 12 years old, man. It is on its last legs. My graphics card, not even recommended for minimum, buddy.
It won't run it.
I'll fucking try. I'll try, but it's not going to happen. That's my reason for not doing it. I need to do a build. I know I need to upgrade my setup, but the thing is money. Money is the factor there.
The game is free, right?
Yes.
It is. It's on Steam. It's Call of Duty Warzone 2.0.
Well, no, okay. Well, hold on. Is it? I am not traditionally a big computer game player. Will I be able to find it on Xbox Game Pass?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass and it's on Steam.
Well,
and
I don't even know if
free.
it's on Game Pass. You can just download it off of the Xbox Marketplace for free.
Okay.
I don't have Game Pass, and I downloaded it. It's
Okay.
you pay for it if you want the campaign and the multiplayer.
Okay.
But if you want Warzone, which is the battle royale, or if you want DMZ, which is the loot and shoot extraction shooter game, those are you just download it for free. You don't need Game Pass. You just download it for free on the marketplace.
Okay.
But
you will. Look, if anyone does decide to play this with me, and they haven't played before,
I have not.
There's going to be frustration because I know these maps inside and out, and there are times that I will die 5 minutes in. That's the nature of it. You have PvE, there are bots everywhere, but you also have PvP. You can choose to engage these players, you can choose to avoid them, you can choose to team up. If both teams want to team up, you squad up and make your squad bigger. There are frustrating, I'm not going to tell you that it's all fun, rainbow and sunshines. There are times when I play this game, and like I said, I've played it a bunch, so I know every nook and cranny of these maps. And I will die quick because there are really good players out there, and I am not one of them. I play it a lot and I know the maps, but I am not very good. So I even have frustration and frustrating games, and it's okay, well, I've played 3 games and I've died very quick each game. Now I'm frustrated. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to do something else, and I'm going to come back. And then I have a really fun game. It's hit or miss because, again, it's It's PvE and PvP. And when you have PvP, there are people out there that are complete dog shit. There are people out there that are in the middle, which is me. And then there are people out there that are just monsters. And they kill you in seconds, and you're like, how the hell did that even happen? So, yeah. I mean, it's going to be frustrating, but I don't know. And I get it, and I give you shit about it, but I get it. First-person shooters aren't for everybody, you know?
The nature of a battle royale, man. Like, you know, you absolutely, and I honestly, like, I honestly kind of dig battle royales, and I know that they're not, like, the style anymore. But, like, you know, I think that
I think battle royales are like that with Warzone and Fortnite. Like, I think they're really making a big comeback.
You would love PUBG, dude. You would love PUBG.
I think that that's kind of the nature of it, where, like, you know, one match you absolutely could feel like a fucking god king, and you're like, yes, I am getting good at this, and then the next match you get wiped out in fucking 2 seconds. So that's just how that goes with battle royales, man. Unless you're one of those fucking 14-year-old kids fucking playing Fortnite, trashing everybody that like spends every waking moment playing Fortnite, you know.
Nope.
It's gonna be my life.
Old fork knife.
A fork knife. I tried playing it, but I don't want Minecraft in my shooters.
I love.
See, I honestly like that. I don't mind. That's why I loved Fallout Nuclear Winter, because, like, if you could put a base up somewhere and, like, be strategic, go and grab some good level shit, fucking hole up somewhere and let people come to you, I'm here for that. Because you know why? Because I suck at first-person shooters. If I can make it a strategy where I can build a fucking base, I can hole up in a fucking corner, let someone blow a wall out, and then I can fucking rocket launch them or grenade them, hell yeah, because that evens the score. That's why, like, that's my fucking strategy in Battle Royale, is fucking run and hide in a bush and wait for the fucking fire to get everybody.
You mentioned it, I guess I should say. That's another game that that I don't know, like, I couldn't get into. My daughter wanted me to sit down and play Minecraft with them the one day, and I just couldn't get into it. I think it's something that if I had the time, maybe I could get into, but it just
you're in good company. Poot hates Minecraft.
I don't know. It didn't grab my attention, like, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and it was just like, you just build shit, and I'm like, okay, well, fantastic. I'm gonna sit here and just chip away at rocks and gather resources. You go out and find, like, whatever the fuck it is we need to find or whatever. I don't know.
For years and years, I would play Minecraft with Poot, you know, virtually, and only to find out fucking a decade later he's like, yeah, I don't really like Minecraft that much. I'm like, oh, cool.
Well, I'm sorry that our whole friendship was a fucking lie because you don't like a video game.
It's been ruined. It's been tarnished. It's been, dare I say,
when we played on Xbox and we were kind of exploring and building and stuff like that, and it was new, it was fun, but then it was just creative mode, and I'm like, okay, cool.
I'll give my kids credit. They've made. I've seen some of the different worlds that they've built and stuff like that, and they're very creative. I'll give them that.
I can have fun on Minecraft for about 20-30 hours, but God. Like, I think
30 minutes tops.
I think once you have a good base, and once you're sitting on, like, a stack of diamond, and once you have, like, the highest level enchanted armor, and once you have, like, the highest level enchanted weapons, and once you have backups of all that, it's like, I don't know what more.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Outside of facing the Ender Dragon and the other fucking bosses they've added, like, there's not much more to do. To accomplish what I would personally want to accomplish, I would have to sink more time than what I would even than I could even fathom into that game. And if I took all that time and then and played, you know, ended up playing outside of creative mode, and I had this awesome base built, and then somebody came by and just, like, fucking, you know, fucked it all up,
I'd be so pissed.
Oh, you don't
Ransom,
play with other people.
I'd be like,
No. You don't play with other people. You play with friends. You play with loved ones. You don't because every if it's one thing I've learned on survival games, and fucking any game really online, every game base is toxic. Every game base has people that have been on since
and
day
that's
one.
why
And they're like, "This is my game, you scrub. Get the fuck out."
Yeah, and that's why I could never. That's why I didn't ever really like get into, like big battle royale and first person shooters because I'm just like again, it's just a matter of like, I don't know. It's just
for
a matter
example,
of,
I've put oh my god, so much time into Ark. Like, how many hours do I have on Steam? 1,086 hours on Steam.
Jesus.
This is a new computer as of. I think I'll have this computer 3 years in August. So that's 1,000 hours since 3 years ago. I probably put another 1,000 hours of it on Xbox, if not more. So like I've been with Ark for a long time. I've never set one fucking foot in a public server because that's just not how I roll. Same with Minecraft. Like when I play with Minecraft with my friends, I don't fucking play in a public world because it's full of assholes that literally have nothing better to do than to make your life hell, and I'm not living that life.
Ransom.
yeah. But that's why
Why
I'm
does my house have a hole in it? Ransom.
Yeah. That's
Why is there a tree growing out of my house? Ransom.
All right, that is something when Poot and Ransom and I were playing Minecraft, I did put a giant tree in Poot's house.
All the time. All the
that
time.
That is literally something that did happen, and I'm actually pretty proud of it.
I love that though, because I'd be off minding my own business, and I just hear Poot, "Why the fuck is there a tree in my house?" And then you'd hear the soft juggle.
That's another reason why games like that happen.
Beef.
No, games like that always happen because I always become the butt of every fucking joke, and I'm like, cool, I can't enjoy this.
I
don't want to hear it. Poot, fucking Beef would put fucking dynamite in my house and just blow it to cinders.
I was very honest with my daughter though. I played it a little bit with her, and she's like, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna be honest,
dear."
And well, yeah, not so many words. I was like, you know what? I was like, honestly, I
fucking hate it.
It's not my favorite. I was like, but
dumb and it smells bad.
I had to be as nice as I could. I'm glad that I've been able to get my kids into other games. Like, I mean, yes, they love Minecraft. My daughter loves Among Us stuff. Like,
Among Us.
Yeah, she loves Among Us. They both got into they both got into Metroid Dread, and I'm trying to think what else. Oh, my Connor's playing Metroid Prime Remastered. I can't forget. I can't remember how far he is into it right now. The last thing I remember him saying that he's got like the ice beam or whatever. I was like, good job.
Nice.
So I mean they're into that stuff. I'm glad I could get them into some of the things that I've gotten into, because like if they get stuck I could help them. But I just don't have the patience for Minecraft. Like I have the patience for games that have a good story and will suck me in, like the Fatal Frame games, like Final Fantasy, anything like that. But I don't know. I think I look at Minecraft the same way as I look at almost like the real-time strategy things. Like I'm just doing I'm just kind of aimlessly clicking or hitting buttons for I don't know what reason.
I'm building for fun.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I was kind of surprised that I liked Cult of the Lamb as much as I did, because there's a lot of
resource stuff, but it's pretty it's pretty self-contained. It does a good job also being a really good roguelike.
Yeah. I was gonna say there was a lot of resource management.
Talking about resource management, you dug into Loop Hero really hard.
Oh fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that fucking game! Poot basically was like, "Hey, here's some fucking crack cocaine. Have a great weekend. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, what's this game? And I fucking sunk like, God, I don't even know, like well over 100 hours into that game. And I was telling like Poot like, when was that I came up? That was
that was the end of last summer.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago, buddy.
My God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I went up to Poot's for the weekend. He introduced me to Loop Hero, who those same people made Cult of the Lamb. So cool.
Yeah. Devolver knows how to make a fucking game.
Yeah, no, both games are great. With Loop Hero, he's like, listen, he's like, there's a lot of repetitiveness or whatever. He's like, but every loop and every time that you start anew or whatever, it can be completely different. It's kind of, there's some luck of the draw on it. I was like, okay, cool. He was telling me about some stuff, and then I'm like, oh, hey, what happens if I do this? And he's like, oh, yeah, try that out or whatever.
Yeah, do it.
And then it got to the point where I was
Sorry?
like, oh, hey, by the way, Pooh, did you know? Yada yada yada. And he's like, no, I didn't. You're way more engrossed in this than what I am. And then I was like, hey, check this out. I filled out every square on the fucking map. He's like, Jesus Christ.
No, like you ran with it. It was literally like a week and a half, and I was like, Tom, what the fuck? Are you okay? Like, who fucking hurt you? Like,
there was a little bit of legitimate concern, but that's the thing. That's how I go into some games. Like I sink myself into a game. Like I'm a completionist at heart. So if there's something like that, like I will try for every trophy. Like same thing with like when God of War Ragnarok came out, I was like, I'm going to fucking platinum trophy this game. Like I'm going to do it.
yeah.
But yeah, Loop Hero was interesting. It's I don't even what is that type of game? What do you even classify that as?
I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, but if you can try Loop Hero, it's a blast. It's a weird game because it's very passive. Like you play it very passively, but it's ridiculously engaging.
Like you sit there and before you know it, you're like, like 2 hours has gone by and I've done 19 loops. Like, shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened to me because it was recommended to me and it was on sale. I was like, let's see how this works. And I started playing it and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I'm not sure I'm necessarily into this. And literally 4 hours went by and I went, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It's something else. I wanted to stream it. I may still go back at some point and stream it because it's one that you could like I could just do one stream of it and say like, okay, essentially this is what the game is. I don't really need to explain it much further. Like it's pretty simplistic in that sense of it. But as you go along and unlock different cards and things like different things that you can use on your map and stuff, like it's hard to explain. You just have to see it.
Yeah, you can spec out
any one of you three could stream learning DMZ with Ransom.
I may do that. I may do that one of these nights. I'll tell you what, Ransom. Let me think. It's what you said, Modern Warfare or whatever. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2. Okay. I'm going to take a Monday night, and it's going to be Modern Warfare Monday with Ransom. So we'll spitball this. We'll figure it out. Which Monday works for you? If this upcoming Monday works for you, let's do that.
Oh my lord!
You guilted me into it.
Let's learn to play DMZ with Ransom.
Yes.
We'll all suck together.
I'll give it a shot.
We'll all suck together.
Yes, we'll all suck together. The title of my porno. What?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Beef, how you feeling over there?
I'm leaving. Good night, everybody.
Well.
Wow.
Danny
Okay.
did.
Wow. That was a thing. Oh,
Wow.
well.
You know, the real champ wouldn't have done that.
Oh, sick burn. On that note, that was a talk.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to hit him anyway.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.